In the wake of the Victor Osimhen transfer saga, who are the most valuable Nigerian players? I mean, the ones that are worth the most amount of money. Well, I am Anushilowo, Jimmy Anushilowo. I'm back here with Money Talks with our favorite football analyst, Ayoola.
Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah, so Ayoola, please, let's have the rundown of the most valuable Nigerian players right now.
All right, so according to Transfermarkt, the top 5 most valuable Nigerians. At number 5, we have Alex Iwobi on 25 million euros. Number 4 is Taiwo Awoniyi, who's worth 28 million euros. Number 3 and number 2 actually tied at 40 million euros. Well, technically both are number 2. Ademola Lookman and Victor Boniface, both are worth 40 million euros at the moment. And the number 1, far out ahead of them, by a 60 million gap, Victor Osimhen, who is worth 100 million euros at the moment.
Okay, so if these players are worth this much, why do they not go for this price on the transfer market?
Well, because at the end of the day, the situation of the transfer market changes. Not everybody will go for their expected value. Some people will go for much higher, like Anthony when he went to Manchester United. Some people will go for much lower, like Victor Osimhen is being priced at 70 million euros. Based on how the transfer market is, they've tried to sell him for his release clause of 120 million euros. But for one reason or the other, they couldn't find buyers. PSG did not want to buy. Chelsea did not want to pay that amount. Arsenal are not as interested anymore. So at the end of the day, Napoli have to make do with what they have. The clubs already know that Osimhen is not going to be part of Antonio Conte's plan. And that means they can actually price Napoli. They can price them down. And they will be the ones to set the price for the player. If it was a case where Osimhen was tied to maybe a longer contract, if it was a case where he was more in demand, he would probably be going for much, much more than that. Just a summer ago, he was being valued at over 130 million euros by clubs, even though his main valuation was still around the same price. But the changes that have happened over the last year, injuries, Napoli's bad spell, Napoli needing to sell, that's very, very key, because Napoli need to sell Victor Osimhen. And clubs know this, so they are going to try and lowball Napoli, which is just a basic business move.
Okay, and now this question might be maybe a bit controversial, but do you think that if these players were not Nigerian, if they were maybe European, would they be priced higher? Would they be valued higher?
Well, it depends on what formula is being used to calculate the value, but generally they should be valued higher based on the nationality or the countries that they play for, especially if they are full internationals who play for their countries, at every opportunity, who are part of their country's national team setup regularly. They will be valued higher than African players, Asian players, South American players. I'm saying if they were Europeans. So for a player like Osimhen, given what he has done, the club that he's in, if it was someone else, he would probably be valued a bit higher than Osimhen. But Osimhen is also one of the biggest names in the market at the moment. So it's going to also, the marketability of Victor Osimhen at the moment is very, very high. Because at the end of the day, that's really what matters. How marketable is this player? How marketable is that player? And generally, you would have more European players being more marketable than African players or players from other continents, just because of the quality. It's just like if you're playing for Barcelona compared to if you're playing for, let's say, Sheffield United. Obviously, the fact that you're playing for Barcelona means that you're going to be valued higher than someone playing for Sheffield United, and it translates as well to the national teams. Teams that are higher ranked in FIFA World Rankings, teams that are more recognized, would have higher. The players from those countries would have higher value than teams lower on the scale. Just the same way that the Nigerian player would probably be valued a lot higher than a player from, say, Lesotho or from Ghana.
Our financial analyst has given us an insight as to the 5 most valuable Nigerian players and given us a breakdown of how these valuations are calculated. But we noticed that their values seem lower to their foreign counterparts. What do you guys think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I am Anushilowo, Jimmy Anushilowo, and this is Money Talks, brought to you by Life's Core Bets.